20 years to the Twin Towers. Let us see some interesting tables and explanation about it by Professor Robert Haralick. So Twin Towers shown in the following table. The table includes the keywords forming the sentence Twin Towers attack with airplane against Edom from the Islam. So let us see now this table. You can see the table now where you have the words on top, Twin Towers attack with planes against Edom from Islam. So you can see clearly the words here. From the Islam, Twin Towers, and with plane against Edom. Very interesting that those main words appear in parallel. Islam, מתקפת attack on the Twin Towers. One should know that such appearance is far away from being coincidence. So let us see something more, the continuation of it. Then it tells you really in the contention of this table, you have the description telling you the statistics. So the cylinder size is 36 in a very small area with expected number of ELS, which is equal letter sequence set to 25. The probability that a text from the ELS random placement text population would have as small an area table as the one produced from the Torah text is less than 1 to million. Basically, after checking more, it came to 1 to 10 millions. So far away from being coincidence. So let us see what more was written about it. So Professor Haralick continue to explain about the gematria of these words. So regarding this, Rabbi Glazerson explained that the gematria of twins is Ateomim is 502. Then this equals the gematria of the metaphoric twins, which are Ishmael, in Hebrew is Ishmael, which has a gematria 451, and Edom, which has a gematria 51, together 502. Unbelievable. Show a clear connection of these forces, Ishmael, Islam, against Edom, 542. Then, according to the Jewish teaching, Edom, the kingdom of Christianity, therefore, Edom is represented through Europe, the countries of the North America continent, Australia and New Zealand. The contemporary leading country of Edom is the United States. The kingdom of Ishmael is, according to the Jewish teaching, the Arab nations and countries of the Middle East. Ishmael is encoded in the same text area, but its ELS has a small skip of 11. In order to see it, we must use smaller cylinder size. A table showing the ELS equal to 6 for Ishmael is shown next. So what you see is unbelievable. You see here, Twin Towers, Ishmael from the Islam. Now one should know that today the Islam is Iran, because Iran took upon themselves the Islamic faith. So you can see in this table, you can see this interesting phenomena, as we said, and You can see here also parallel from the Islam. Here you have Ishmael and the twins towers appearing here, unbelievable. Then, in this case, the statistics a little bit less. It is 10 to 1,000 because there are few birds. Then, looking more into this, the two twin towers tables shown above appears in the text spanning the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 11, through the book of Numbers, chapter 20, verse 14. Unbelievable, in such small area, so much. The next material to be found of interest is in the book of Numbers, chapter 20, and begins with the death of Miriam. And as the Medrash explains, there was a well called Miriam well. As the Jews, the Hebrews, Israelis, were wandering through the wilderness, lacking adequate water supply would have been fatal. In the merit of Miriam, the righteous, God provided a moving well of water, one which virtually followed the people throughout their wandering until the moment of Miriam's death. When Miriam died, so did the well. And definitely the result was there is no water. Thus there was no more water, and therefore the Israelites complained about the lack of water following Miriam passing. Then God instructed Moses to take his staff and speak to the rock before the eyes of the Israelites, and water gushed forth from the rock. Moses took his staff, and as it is stated in the book of Numbers 20:11, Moses raised his arm and struck the rock with his staff twice. Abundant water came forth, and the assembly and their animals drank. Now, the original Hebrew text of this verse is to be found in the first table, about 6 rows from the bottom. The symbolism of the rock to Hebrew Selah, in Hebrew Selah rock, that Moses struck can be understood by words formed out of its Hebrew letters. The Hebrew letter Selah, rock. These words that can be formed out of them are all associated with the force of evil. The first word begins with its first letter Samael, which is the first letter of the name Samael. Then Samael is the heavenly minister of the biblical character Esau, Adam, and Amalek definitely. The principal characteristic of people that have internalized some spiritual similarity to Samael. So, is what it says here, that Samael is heavenly minister of Aaron, and the principal character of people that have internalized some spiritual similarity to Samael is haughtiness. The second word begins with its second letter Lamed, the second letter of Selah, which is the first letter of the name Lilith, the Hebrew Lilith. Lilith is the wife of Samael. The biblical character associated with Lilith is Agar, the mother of Ishmael. It means the Ishmael are connected with Lilith, this evil force of lust. Then, the most important is the principal characteristic of people who have internalized some spiritual similarity to this is desire, lust, desire in the sense of lust. Hence, this is the established connection of Lilith to Ishmael. The third word begins with its third letter, Ein, Selah, right? The third letter, Ein, which is the first letter of the word, or it little mean skin, covering, or covering. The idea is the skin represents the covering, the shell, in Kabbalistic term called klipa, which is a covering shell of impurity that joins that what it covers together with its hiding its full purpose due to sin. Covering shell or impurity that joins that where what it covers together with itself, hiding its full purpose due to sin, that goes much in line with the famous saying, knowledge is power. According to Kabbalah, to have this power, sin has to be corrected, which then, as a result, removes the klipa, and therefore cause one to understand what is really going in life. Given this analysis, it should be no surprise that both Samael and Lilith appear as ELS in the same text area. The ELS for Samael as a skip of 16, and that of Lilith of 67. Notice that the ELS for Samael begins with the letter Samech of the Hebrew word of rock, Selah. These tables are shown next. So here you can see the table, which is very interesting as we saw. So what you have here, the words twin towers, Samael, skin, which is covering, and from Islam, the rock. So you can see clearly, it's unbelievable. The Samael come from the letter Samech. Yeah, said exactly as we read. And then we have also here Lilith, as we see just now. Yeah. And she comes. No, Lilith is the other table, sorry. Yeah. So this is a table of Samael with all covered skin and statistics smaller than 1 to 100,000. Like, wow, significant. So let us see now the other table, and this table has to do with Lilith. And here you can see the Lilith coming. So like before, we have a take from the Islam on the Twin Towers, and here you have the female, right? So this is less, it is smaller than 20,000. So the picture comes out beautifully on the table. On September 11, 2001, Osama bin Laden, a Muslim and founder of the transnational extremist Salafist militant organization Al-Qaeda, attacked the Twin Towers. Bin Laden was being supported and sheltered by the Taliban, a Sunni Islamic fundamental political movement and military organization governing in Afghanistan. Not quite 4 weeks after the attack on the afternoon of October 17th, the US, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia began airstrikes on the capital of Afghanistan. Then, what really happened afterwards, so we see the continuation of this table. The airport of Kabul, at Kandahar, home of the Taliban supreme leader Mullah Omar, and in the city of Jalalabad. The next day, October 8th, was the seventh day of the Jewish holiday called Sukkot. This day is called Hoshana Rabbah, the day of final judgment. This is the day on which God seals the book of judgment for all of creation, finalizing and sealing the destiny of each person for the new year based on their merits and sins from the last year. Each year mankind is judged again, not only once their lifetime is over, as many people assume. And this is a day which, according to our sages, will mark the beginning of the war called Gog and Magog. By writing out each letter in its full pronunciation, which is an official and classic method of Gematria, we obtain the letters Rab Mem Gimal Rab Gimel, Yud Mem Lamed Vav Aleph Vav, Yud Mem Lamed Vav 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 Mem Gimel Yud Mem Lamed Vav Aleph Gimel. It means that this is the full meaning of each letters, and the Gematria of Gog and Magog written out to Hebrew is 451, which equals the Gematria of the word Ishmael, Gematria Gog and Magog 451. The fact that Gog and Magog is to be written out of these have the same Gematria results shows that Ishmael is the inner essence, the soul of the war of Gog and Magog. Rabbi Glazerson teaches that the Zohar Exodus portion verse 32:1 speaks of 3 wars that Ishmael will declare in the future. Ishmael will declare 3 fierce wars to the world, as the descendants of Edom will gather against the descendants of Ishmael and fight 3 battles. 1 battle will take place on the sea, 1 on the land, and 1 near Jerusalem. Evidently, the attack on Afghanistan marked the beginning of the battle on land. Rabbi Glazerson teaches that the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers, was the quintessential financial center in the world, which housed gold and diamonds, as well as the largest offices. As such, some people with many acceptances involved in these financial trades had a self-awareness of being one of the most vital movers and shakers on the financial world stage, and its towers became the symbolism of a developed arrogance. Arrogance is a word which stems from a place of wisdom. Rabbi Glazerson notes that the Gematria of the word tower is 77, which equals the Gematria of wisdom in Hebrew Chokhmah plus its number of letters, which is the classic method of calculating Gematria. As already discussed, the Gematria of the towers to Hebrew is 502, which is also Gematria of Ishmael and Edom, plus Edom. Since the arrogance and lust that the towers represent are the forces of Ishmael and Edom. So this is a lot which I wrote in my book, part of it, But it's important to understand this idea, yeah, as a basic attack on the Twin Towers as a much deeper idea in the light of the books of Kabbalah.